Hi, I'm Middia Pitkin. I'm a personal trainer, and today we're going to do the physioball follow-along segment. So this assumes that you are familiar with these exercises and you're just ready to work out. So start bouncing. So this warm-up, we're going to do about 5 minutes, and warming up is particularly important for injury prevention. It raises your core temperature, and that is important for more than one reason, but one reason is that your connective tissue, your collagen, is like taffy. When you pull on it when it's cold, it just can break, whereas when it's warm and you pull on it, it's got a lot of stretch, a lot of give. Also, once you start warming up, your body starts sending your blood more to your limbs and the working muscles. When you're at rest, your body is sending your blood more to your organs. So anyway, those are just a couple of the physiological adaptations to exercise that occur when you warm up. Oh, and this one I love. So this, what we're doing here, bouncing up and down, is great for your spine. That compression and the elongation and compression that occurs when you're bouncing, it also occurs when you're walking, but this is a particularly, I don't know, this one feels particularly good. Actually helps to circulate the fluid in your spinal column, which helps to bring increased nourishment to your spine and is also good for bone density. So we're doing so much, and all we're doing is bouncing on the ball. But anyway, let's do some variations. So we're going to add some arms. So you just keep bouncing, and then you can do side, up, side, up. Anytime you add arms, that's going to start to increase your heart rate. So that's why we start with just the bouncing, and then we're adding in the arms. And now we're going to release the arms after 2 more and 1 more, and we're going to go back to just bouncing, and we're going to add a pivot. So here you want to make sure your knee stays over your ankle, and you're going to bounce, 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 bounce. You can just join in whenever you're ready. Pivot, 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 pivot. So think of moving your knee rather than thinking of moving your foot. That will help to keep your knee over your foot. We're going to do 2 more and 1 more, and back to our bounce, bounce. Arms, 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 arms. And 2 more, and 1 more. And now we're going to pivot around the ball. So now you're just going to keep going in one direction. So it's bounce, 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 bounce. Making sure your knees are staying over your ankles. And now we're going to take it around the other way. Bounce. And back to our set bounce. Adding arms. Feeling warm? I can tell you I'm feeling humid. It's a humid day today. And 2 more. And last one. Fantastic. Okay. So I'm just going to show you one other thing you can do with warming up using the ball is you can just start to do like a step touch, and you add a ball rather than just your arms, and you've got a much more increased heart rate. And now we're going to do 2, 1, and 2, and now 2 back. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. We're going to do that twice more. And last one. And 2, 1, and 2. All right, so let's move on to our physioball exercises. And our first one is push-ups. So hopefully you have your mat ready, or whatever padding you're using ready for under your knees, and then you're going to lean forward on the ball, hands on the floor, walk out to whatever is the appropriate distance out for you, hands fairly wide, inhale, exhale up. That's 5. And that's 10. Let's say you just feel like you can't make it, you can also step back for your last 2 and 1. So you can do what's essentially a drop set. So you can challenge yourself a little more than you would otherwise and then back off, but still complete 15 repetitions. So that's yet another way that the physioball is a very nice tool. So our next exercise is hip dips. So sitting on the ball, letting the ball roll up your back until your weight is on your shoulders, but your head is supported, and you're going to let your hips drop. Press up without the ball rolling back. Exhale on the way up, but really, as long as you're breathing, I wouldn't worry too much about, that's 5, the coordination of your breath. Five more. And this one, the next level of progression would be to do one leg. 2 and 1. So the first step would be just to balance on one leg and then balance on the other leg. So that's just something that you can play with. And if you don't want to walk up, you can also just sit down from the ball rather than walking up. Next we have ball squats. Let's go over to the wall. So the ball is in the small of my back. My feet are awkwardly far forward. Basically, you want your knees over your ankles when you come down, and exhale up. And that's 5. And that's 10. And as I've mentioned before, you stop at the level that's appropriate for you today. Maybe 15 repetitions is not where you're at today. Listen to your body first, then me. That's 15. Good. And back over to our usual spot. So this next exercise, I neglected to put into the instructional part, but we'll just do it together now. So it's the same setup as for push-ups, but you want to keep your abdominals supported, walk out as far as you can without starting to lose that abdominal support, and then walk back out, and walk back in. This is a loud ball. I don't know how much the mic is picking it up, but so as you're probably noticing, this is a good abdominal exercise, good arm strengthener. We'll do 2 more. And if you're not walking out as far as I am, so it's taking you less time, just hold. So you could just walk out that far, hold, and then walk back in. And you're done. Good. Okay, I think I need to unfurl my mat. Nope, I still need knee support or knee padding. This is the upper back extensions. So hands wherever is appropriate for you, shoulder blades pulling down, and lengthen through the roof of your mouth and lower. Lengthen, lengthen, and lower. And lower. And lower. Make sure your shoulder blades aren't sneaking up towards your ears. And lower. Make sure you keep breathing throughout the exercise. And we're going to do 3 more. And lower. And one last one. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. We're holding a little extra. And release. Good. So you can either sit on the ball and walk out, or you can sit on the floor and roll back. Everybody prefers one or the other, it seems. So heels pressing into the floor. You don't want to be too far back because then you'll roll backwards over the ball. Narrowing your abdominals and come to level and lower down. Exhale as you come up. Don't release your narrowing as you go down. Shoulder blades away from your ears. And you can also use one hand to check and see that you're maintaining your narrowing. Two more. And we're just going to go right into the hang backwards exercise because it's a logical progression. I don't know if I did, I don't think I did that on the sheet. My apologies. So, nice deep breaths. See how completely you can sink into the ball. And you can also sort of adjust as you go along. And as you do this on different days, you'll probably notice that there are different spots that need a little more attention depending on the day. It's not always the same. Okay, one last thing, and that's our TikToks. So ideally, you go down sideways. If I have the ball, I often use the ball to help sort of counterbalance and go straight backwards. But anyway, hands wherever is comfortable. So here you have a little more support. After doing that stretch, I want to be up here, which sort of releases my upper back. And then just a nice, easy, gentle back and forth. But here's another advantage of the physioball. It's round. It doesn't have to be back and forth. You also could shift it and do a little front to back. And now I have a different kind of massage on my low back. I could do circles, just kind of rolling the ball in a little circle. That gives me a different low back massage. This is a great way to release built up tension in the low back. I don't want to stop, it feels so good, but that's it for now. So if this is your first run through, I highly recommend going through, doing it again, doing a second set of everything, including the warm up. It's a nice little cardio portion. And if it's your second time through, way to go.